Well, here we go with our my first experiment with trying a POV. So I changed where my camera was mounted from, instead of it being in the back of the boat, to now being on my helmet. I'm not too sure how well it works. The audio is very different, so I've decided on this video to mute the audio that the camera picked up. As for one, you can hear me when I'm working hard, so you can hear me breathing, which I find really distracting on the video. I'm also going to start playing around with playback speed and maybe just trying to show you a bit more of the sailing, but when not much is happening, I'll just speed up the video content so you can see what's happening. So this is from October time 2025. There was a big decision to make before I went out. I wasn't too sure whether I wanted to use the T-foil rudder or not. Few issues with it still at the moment. I'm hopefully adjusting them now, but to use it, I would have to launch the boat, capsize to get the rudder down to put the rudder pin in. The Morrison 3 international canoe that I'm sailing, the design doesn't have a lot of volume in the back of the boat. So if I have to go towards the back of the boat to put the rudder down, basically the transom sinks and the nose sits up in the air and then it falls over anyway. So because it was much colder, I decided not to do that and just go for the normal dagger cassette type. Now the wind direction here as well is such that we launch at the club and we're heading down towards near Mark 7 for the start line. And it's definitely much quieter over near the clubhouse. It produces a big wind shadow in this wind direction. And what you can see me here is as I'm slowly making my way out towards the start line, the wind slowly builds up. I mean, it never gets very windy. There's enough for me to get out towards the seat upwind at times. But you'll certainly see later on, it all goes a bit horribly wrong. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So what you've got now then is me getting ready for the start. Now I've tried to start near the committee boat end. Been up and down the line a few times. The wind was shifting around quite a bit. Now the fully battened mainsail on the international canoe means it's really hard to stop. So some of the other boats have a real advantage here in that they can almost stop dead on the start line. I can't. I have got to be moving. Ideally, I really want to hit the start line, moving really quickly. We've started. We're making our way now over towards near the club. You can see some gusts coming down the lake. I've picked the wrong end to start. I should have really been down at the pin end. But here, I've got a fairly decent amount of free air, just able to go over the top of this contender. But as you can see from my telltales, I am just having to pinch a little bit, which isn't always the best. But if I free off too much, I'm just going to end up having to pinch back up because these boats underneath me. But the boat is quick upwind, so I'm able to make it. Now we've just got Scorpion coming over here. I spoke to the to the helm after the race, and he apologised. He misheard me. He thought I said carry on. I didn't. So that was okay. And then the last thing I wanted here was this 515 to tack in front of me. So I let them carry on. I didn't want to be too close to them. You could even see the effect of them just passing in front of me. So I seem to have cleared now quite a few. I mean, the Scorpions are doing very well, as they always do at our sailing club. But hopefully I should, if I keep on going now, just get enough boat speed to really start to clear some of these slower boats. So just in front of me, got John in the Phantom. He's quite lightweight for a Phantom, so he does exceptionally well in these conditions. Really gets moving. And then up ahead, we've got Jamie in the RS 600, one of the best sailors in the country in the RS 600. And Kevin in the Fireball, another exceptional sailor. Both boats I should be quite a way ahead on handicap, but Notts County is quite small, so it's quite difficult for me at times to actually sail my boat anywhere close to handicap, especially against those two. So I often consider it a victory if I'm in front of them, even though I should be finishing a long way ahead. So we're starting to get the effects of the sailing club coming across now. Kevin's cleared me. I think he's going to have to tack again to make the mark. I can see John behind me. Kevin's just got a big lift, but tacking's a bit troublesome. I can also see Jamie further up to windward. Lots of boats tacking underneath me, but I just want to clear them so I can be in free air to tack. Looks as though Jamie might have overstood the mark. I can see there's Kevin. He's tacked to get back up, so he's going to have to tack again. So I'll get close to Jamie's line, and then I'm going to put a tack in. Just then, as you can see now, I've got cleared the air, cleared the direction from some of them. I'm still having this problem with the jib. If I tack with the jib too tight, the jib does not want to tack across. Okay when it gets much breezier, but in wind conditions like this. So there's John in the Phantom coming across. But I'm just going to clear him. Got plenty of boat speed now. He's tacked underneath, but I'll just be able to get over the top of him. And then after this, we're bearing off. And we've got a bit of a run now to head over towards Mark 8 before it tightens up again. Quite tricky in these conditions. Got to be careful that John doesn't sit on my breeze. Jamie's going to, I think he jibes off here at some point, just to again, because he's getting close to Kevin, to keep away from Kevin. Yeah, there he goes. Kevin's got the spinnaker up now, so a big advantage for the Fireball in conditions like this, for him to be able to keep going. With that big increase in sail area as we head down towards Mark 8. But then it's going to tighten up after the jibe. I'm then able to get in front of everyone, and then we end up seeing my first big tactical mistake of the race. Well, second big after the start, as I head towards the wrong mark. here I am then, making my way back from my mistake of heading towards Mark 3 instead of coming up to this mark. John was very kind and letting me know that I'd sailed to the wrong mark. So I've still got here before everybody else. Bit too tight. Kevin's going to come round the back of me. John's going to try and nip to windward of me. So I'm still having to faff around here, all the bits of rope and the seat. There's John, he's gone. So hopefully now I can get going. I've got a wind indicator about 2/3 up towards the top of the mast. I just found that if I tried to have one on the top of the mast, the amount of times I would capsize, I would just lose the burgee. So I've put this wind indicator just with a piece of double-sided sticky tape. So they've tacked. I'm now going to follow them. You see, there we go. Same problem with the jib. Give me a moment or two. Yeah, there we go. And then now it's gone across. Now we can sheet back in. Because I can't adapt as quickly as they can. It's much easier for them to tack. I want to do fewer tacks. And it's one of the big reasons I lose out down at Notts County. Because I just can't tack on all these shifts. Now, Jamie's ahead of us here somewhere. I can't quite see him at the moment. There's Phil in the contender. Is that him there? Yes, that's him there. So he went round Mark A and tacked straight away. And I've just been able to get much closer to him. Yeah, he's just got hit by a header there. But then we see one of the reasons why I don't want to do too many tacks. Cleared in front of him. Isn't really a problem. But what is going to happen is by the time I've then tacked, like I've had to tack, sort myself out. Jamie gets a nice big lift. I've overstood the mark slightly. And Jamie's got in front. So yeah, you can see me. I mean, I've seen bear bore off there. Just loosened off. So we're just having a little conversation there. Jamie's aware that I'm here. I'm just letting him know that I don't want him to tack right in front of me. I'm not going to have anywhere to go. But then I just let him go, and then we're off downwind again. He tacks, he's off. It then takes me a little bit of a time, throw the seat across, jib again. And as you can see, I've had to leave quite a lot of space around the mark. So when Kevin comes round, he's able to do a much better mark rounding. He's already taken a boat length or two out. Jamie's shot off. And this was one of the few times we got quite a nice bit of breeze down here. Still experimenting with where my body weight needs to be when I'm using this vertical rudder. Do I want to be further towards the front? Do I want to be a little bit further back? Kevin's got his spinnaker up now. Not too sure if I maybe got not quite enough downhaul on the sail. Have I got a little bit too much? Wind's now just dropped off again. The Morrison 3's got an interesting setup with its boom and kicker system. So as soon as you let the boom out, the kicker releases. So this is really quite handy, especially going around top marks. It's a rope you don't have to be trying adjusting as you go around the top mark. Have to be careful when it gets breezy though, because sometimes you just got to put a little bit more kicker tension on so the top of the mainsail doesn't twist away too much, and then the boat becomes very unstable. So here we go. We're just getting a little bit of a gust, and then it eases off. Jamie did a much better job there. I saw him there. He luffed up in a little bit of a lull, got hit by the gust, bore off. See, there we go. He's got a big, well, I say big, relatively large gust. Really picked up in boat speed. So that's one lap. And here we go on the second lap. Now, both of us, all three of us now, we're just going to try and clear the pin end of the gate, as we've got to go through that for each lap. It's a bit of a struggle, but we manage it. I don't really. It's such a difficult decision at times. I'm not quite sure about the pinching. Kevin does a very good job. I think maybe at wind I just need to put a little bit more down all on, take a few of the creases. I hadn't noticed as much, but you can see the real distortion in my camera lens, as you can just see the mast appears to be bending all over the place. When I had it in a fixed position at the back of the boat, it was much nicer. So there you go. I've just tried to bear off a little bit. And I know I'm going to sail into Jamie's dirty air a little bit, but if the breeze is up and I can get my weight out towards the end of the seat, there's a huge increase in boat speed. End up being able to sail much faster. Almost every time I've sailed over towards the left. In hindsight now, I can see a little bit of a sort of gust coming across. So there goes the seat. The jib's gone halfway this time. I can now see Kevin coming across. Nope, he's tacked on it, which is a bit of a relief for me. Yeah, I do wonder, maybe a bit more downhaul. Got a lot of creases for going upwind here. So now the plan will be boat speed. Just trying to get as fast as I can. Really try and maximise the advantage that I have. And the advantage I do have is upwind speed. Jamie's got 2 more square metres of sail area downwind. And obviously Kevin, when he gets that spinnaker up, has got a lot more. So especially when it's broader, Kevin's really quick. And unless I can get weight outboard, I can't compete with the 600, or at least I can't. But hopefully when I lose a little bit more weight, that should then help me, as I'll be able to accelerate a little quicker. So just being able to keep ahead of Kevin there. Boat speed's just picked up a little bit as I'm starting to clear him. Looking upwind now, trying to see what's happening to Jamie. Sort of using him as an indicator of what he's going to do. Has he made the... There you go, Kevin's tacked behind. He's just got away at this lake. He knows what he's doing. I think this time me and Jamie both go a bit too far. And Kevin is then able to make a big gain on both of us, because he's then able to come up from his position and then lay the mark when he gets a big gain, whereas Jamie and I have overstood a little bit. I mean, boats travelling really quick. As you can see, I'm starting to get a bit further outboard on the seat, but Kevin's got that advantage. There he is, he's underneath me, and I'm still trying to head up because chances are we're going to get headed. I'm going to need to bear away. At this point, it looks like we've lost John, but he's a wily sailor, so he'll be back a little bit later in the race. So overall, that beat wasn't so bad, just overstepping the mark. I've managed to go over the top of Kevin now. He's pinching quite hard so that he doesn't have to put 2 tacks in. Jamie's made it round. There we go, look at him. Just making his way up. So that advantage I did have, he's just been able to erode. And off we go downwind again. At least I know the course this time. But now I'm going to have this problem of Kevin's going to be behind me. He's going to put that kite up, sit on my wind a little bit and make my life difficult. So the race is going pretty well at this point. I've just now managed to get ahead of everyone. Just heading down towards one of our movable marks, just going to head up, go on to the next beat. I was getting happier. The tacks were working well. The boat seemed to be going well. The breeze has picked up a little bit, and I think that's the really important part here at the moment. So here I come, just rounding the mark, bit sloppy. There we go. You can tell the breeze has picked up by what's happening with the jib. I'm still not too sure. Maybe I should be sailing with a bit more downhaul, just to try and take some of those creases out. I've always struggled with the kicker. How much do I put on? How much do I not put on? You can see there that these gusts are coming across. I'm moving around a lot, checking to see what's happening, trying to get organised, ready to tack. So here we go. Again, jib's not gone across, but now because it's a little bit breezier, there we go. So we can see Kevin still close behind me, just putting the seat further out, not sheeting in enough. There we go, that's much better. And as we can see now, breeze is picked up, boat speed is really starting to increase. This is where I'm able to pull out a bit more on the others, particularly upwind, because they are just not as fast. So heading out over towards Mark 3 now before we go off downwind. So I say, really happy with what's going on. I seem to be in control. Things are going well. I know I should be much further ahead of Kevin, but this will do. Nice tack. Just do the jib. There we go. So off we go. And then after this, I'm heading off downwind again. The canoes are a little tricky to, well, more than just a little bit tricky to tack. Just because of the sliding seat, you often have to give yourself a little more room. So here goes another one, seat across. There we go. But as you can see there, not that close to the mark. Whereas if we watched Kevin go round the mark, it would be much closer because he doesn't have that movable seat to worry about clonking into the marks. There's Jamie behind Kevin. So at this point, I'm sort of thinking, yeah, this is going well. This is going well. So let's just see what happens in a few minutes. So everything now seems to be quite well under control. Heading down towards Mark 3. Breeze has just picked up that little more. Boat's going really quickly here. It's sort of a very close to close hauled, almost a fetch. So you have to play most of this leg as a single tack of a beat, and then it just eases off. You can see how much room I've got now. Really started to stretch out a lead. Really pleased with how everything's going. Now I sail a very, very similar way to how I have been so far. So as I come round the mark, I'm just going to bear off. I'm not going to jibe. I'm just going to go off with it. There we go, just starting to ease off. The breeze is up a little higher. So just waiting now. So here we go. So bearing off around the mark, heading off down towards the movable mark. Everything's, looking all right. I mean, it's been like this multiple times on this leg before, and we then encounter my next big mistake. So without really realising it, what I've done here is I've just sailed straight into a big hole. And here comes Kevin coming around the mark behind. There's Jamie. Now, you can't quite see from these images, there we go, of jibe, because I've realised what's starting to happen now. That Jamie's trapezing. And he's coming flying down this leg. Battens aren't quite across. So you can see how light it's gone for me. Got to get that seat out. There we go. And I look over there. Jamie's just jibed straight round the mark. And he's motoring. He is absolutely flying along here. And I'm just bobbing along. Not really in a great sail. I'm having to move everything forward. Try and get the weight forward here. Sailing by the lee. So it's do a jibe again. There's Kevin sort of behind me. Just as I'm trying to figure out, what am I supposed to be doing here? And it's not gone as well as I'd wanted it to. So I'm now just, I'm not going quickly. It's a real problem. So as you can see, plenty of breeze behind. Not a lot where I am at the moment. There's Kevin. You see, he's gone further round. He's in the breeze. And I'm just struggling, bobbing along. Yeah, there you go. I'm flapping my arms around. There's Jamie and Kevin. Gotten round me again. I'm now just trying to jibe, try and get out of this hole. So all that lead I've just had is now just straight evaporated. There you go. Those two have gone in front of me. And eventually I get back into the breeze. But all that lead I've had is gone. And I just have to suck it up. There's not much else I can do. I enjoyed the sail, as I always do. Here we go. I'm just going to jibe again now. And I've gone from being 100 or so yards in front to now 50 or 60 yards behind. And there we go. Now the boat speed's starting to pick up. But they were just able to sail all the way around me in breeze. And I don't get back in front after this point. Those two do very well and keep ahead of me. But I enjoyed the sail. It was nice sailing. So this was the last sail of 2025. Various different reasons. I've still got problems with my shoulder. So having to take it easy. So it'll be picking the boat up soon and bringing it home, taking the mast off, getting it all hidden away so it's protected from the winter frosts, and then back sailing in 2026.